I thank you for your trust, Jedi. I might not have given mine so freely were our positions reversed.
Until the Emperor's death, we are allies, not friends.
Agreed. As I told your council, the Emperor's plan is not to rule the galaxy, but to consume it. I've devoted centuries to stopping him. For a time, I worked with the greatest of your Jedi heroes, Revan and the Jedi Exile. But they did not have the strength to complete their task.
That's quite a claim.
You will find no proof. I hid my association with them well. Nonetheless, I was their ally in the shadows, helping them oppose my Lord Emperor. Until my vision. Jedi, shining with the Force, lined up to destroy him. All were swept aside. Revan and the Exile were cast at my feet. Then, out of the shadows, one Jedi emerged to cut the Emperor down. That Jedi wore your face.
I hadn't even been born yet.
I waited 300 years for your birth. When I saw your face on Quesh, in the vision, I bowed to you and took a crown from the Emperor's head. It ended when you held his power in your hands.
Your people speaking of the Empire sound like a distorted echo. When I was born, we thought the rest of the galaxy to be mystery and legend. We had been alone for 1,000 years.
What was it like? I can't even imagine.
We were what you made us.
In my youth, Jedi were how you threatened errant children. Obey your masters or the Jedi will obliterate you. For thousands of years, we had total control of 100 star systems. Then the Jedi drove us to the farthest fringe of the galaxy.
That was generations ago. Do people really still care?
Did your people still care to fear us when we re-emerged? This is hardly worth debating. I gain nothing from understanding how your Republic's fools view the galaxy. I am surprised that once your council finishes its brainwashing, any Jedi has a spine left to oppose the Emperor. Perhaps you are young enough to still cultivate the strength of the Sith.
I'm open to Sith tricks. What have you got?
The dark side is no trick, Jedi. When you release the control the Jedi Council has drilled into you, when you feel anger in your every connection to the Force, when you can accept that a man of authority must use any means necessary to achieve his ends, then you will have discovered the dark side. I do not know how more to prepare you to face the Emperor. What has your training been? All I know of Jedi ways is from Revan. Surely they have changed in 300 years.
Not as much as you'd think.
That is the great failing of both our peoples. We do not change. When I step onto Korriban, I'm always surprised to see the same training I saw 3 centuries ago. Only my visions set me apart, made them bring me before the Emperor. In his presence, I first saw who he was and what he planned.
You should have cut his throat. Saved us all a lot of trouble.
I would have been rent to pieces before my hand touched the hilt of my lightsaber. I alone could not defeat him, so I chose to wait for one who could. I thought Revan and the Jedi Exile were my chance.
That was 300 years ago. Obviously it didn't work out.
I hoped it would. I was their eyes and ears in the Sith Academy, their most trusted ally. I liked them. I would have served them, but my vision told me they would fail. I cut down the Exile and brought Revan to the Emperor as a gift.
Is that when he made you his executioner?
The only way to live long enough to find the Jedi who would kill the Emperor, to find you, was to convince him to trust me. He took my offering and gave me a place at his side. He gave me immortality. It was a gift, but not without its price. It has been enlightening to spend so much time among you and your Jedi. For 300 years I have spoken to no one but Sith, and they do not change. They are the same on Korriban now as in my childhood. The same tricks, The same fights. The same groveling and mind control.
Was that almost a compliment?
I am only surprised that I have learned the most of the Force from a Jedi. Revan taught me to be effective when I became the Emperor's wrath. And now I have learned as much from you.
You have opened my eyes as well.
And here I thought you weren't listening. I have sought the Emperor's death for so long, yet I cannot picture the galaxy without him. When I was born, the Emperor was the Empire. Everything existed to feed his whims. He was so far above us, no one, Sith or slave, would have dared even form an opinion about him.
It is in the nature of the dark side to crave worship.
It is more than the dark side. I thought that when I first served him. The Emperor was just a man, isolated by unimaginable power and the inability to trust the scheming sycophants who served him. I was wrong. He is a disease that must be stopped before it ravages us.
Are you going somewhere with this? Because I'm already planning to kill him.
Only to warn you that the Emperor is not just a man. He changed long ago. Immortality comes at a terrible price. Taste, smell, touch, color, emotion. The Emperor and I experience none of these things. We are no longer mortal. When you face the Emperor, do not forget that. I now understand why your council tries to control your pleasure as well as your anger. Pleasure is a far more powerful motivator.
What good is having power if you can't enjoy how it feels?
Power is only one of life's pleasures. I still remember the feel of sunlight on my skin, the scent of favorite foods, the color of my first love's eyes. To experience those simple pleasures again would be worth anything.
The Emperor took all that away from you. Don't fool yourself into believing you can get it back.
Perhaps. But there is satisfaction in having revenge. The Emperor will pay for what he took from me. I understand why your council controls you. What I'll never comprehend is why you let them. You have surprised me, Jedi. You have the heart of a Sith. Had you been born on Korriban, you would be sitting on the Dark Council now. It is too late to turn you fully from the light. But should your children have a connection to the Force, I will see them properly trained.
A Sith Lord of my blood. It's an intriguing thought.
He would have power such as the galaxy has never seen. It would be my greatest honor to train him.